What's up, you guys? How's everybody doing? Happy Sunday. I'm drinking the usual LaCroix. Shout out to LaCroix. I know they're gonna give me that sponsorship one day. I drink this stuff way too much. So I have been wanting to come on here and give you guys an update on where I'm at now. I'm in business. First of all, hey, how's everybody doing? I'm doing great. I'm actually in Arizona right now visiting one of my best friends. It's her birthday tomorrow, so we have been just having a really nice and relaxing weekend. Hello. And I came on here to give you guys an update. I celebrated 1 year in business in September, and so a lot has changed since I first started my notary loan signing business. A lot of things have changed. I do a lot of things differently. The climate has changed. COVID has come. So many updates. So I just wanted to come on here and share with you all. So I'll wait for people to start to roll in. And for those of you who do not know, I am Dominica. I am the owner of D Signs, which is a notary loan signing business. And thank you. Yeah, I just celebrated 1 year in business, and I've been sharing my journey all year long. And it's amazing how things have evolved. Like where I was last October, I would not have ever imagined I would be where I am today. Like I've been working though. I have been working nonstop to build this business, and I'm gonna continue to do that. And so I've just started to see the fruits of my labor over this past year, and it's been really exciting. So yeah, I just want to share some updates with you guys. First of all, like I said, I'm in Arizona this weekend. I'm relaxing, and I just want to remind everybody to do the same. You have to take some time for yourself, rest, regroup, because what I'm learning in this business is that you can find yourself just working all the time, and you can burn yourself out really quick because there's signings all the time. All the time, there's gonna be signings all the time. Somebody's gonna be calling you, texting you, emailing you to go do a signing. So it's easy to get caught up in that, especially because the money is really good, you know? So you get caught up in doing signings all the time, and before you know it, you're working nonstop and you will burn yourself out. So I just wanna encourage everybody to take a break, take some time to reset. I've started to not just take time to reset, but also take time to look, like take a comprehensive look at my business and kind of where I'm at and where I want to go. And put, things into place to make that happen. If you're constantly working all the time and you don't stop and take a look at what's happening with your business, you won't really know how to grow it, what's next steps to take. Oh yeah, your first signing on Tuesday. Congratulations. That's really exciting. I still remember my first signing like it was yesterday. I was nervous as hell, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, yeah, updates. Like I said, I'm a year in now. I'm doing a lot of things differently than I did when I first started. I know some of you guys have probably seen my video, A Day in the Life of a Loan Signing Agent. I'm gonna do an update on that as well, because even the way like I prep for my day is totally different. I don't really prep documents anymore. I found after a while that was just taking too much time out of my day. And so now I pretty much print documents and I go. I work pretty much for the same companies all the time now. So I'm pretty comfortable and familiar on what they want, how the loan documents need to be signed. So I don't do that much prepping. I literally print, may go through the first instruction page and I go. So I don't spend a lot of time doing that anymore. I also cut back on my distance, how far I travel. I rarely leave like my immediate neighborhood anymore. I rarely do signings that are over like 10 miles now. And not that I don't do them, I'll still do them, only for certain clients though, in certain scenarios. When I first started, I would just take any sign that was anywhere up to an hour. I didn't care. I would just be driving all over the place. Now I've become more strategic with my schedule, and where I'm going throughout the day. And I've learned that that's helped me, again, not be so burned out, you know? Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna do an update kind of on the day in a life, because the yeah, things are different. My day is not really like it used to be anymore. Like I said, the main thing is I don't spend as much time prepping. I used to spend a lot of time prepping because I was just not as confident in myself. I was still learning, and so I just wanted to always make sure everything was right. Now I still do the same. I still make sure everything is right, but I'm just so much more experienced now and so much more confident in myself that I don't have to like double check or triple check or second guess myself as much. A lot of my preparation was like I was second guessing myself or unsure about things, and now it's just different. It just comes with experience, really. So I don't discourage anybody from prepping and doing as much as you feel that you need to do to prepare yourself for that signing. Please do that. Do whatever is comfortable. I'm just saying, after a year now, I just don't have to spend as much time doing some of the preparation type things that I used to do. It just takes too much time out of my day, and it's just not necessary anymore based on my current skill set, if that makes sense. Well, I never had a fear of going into people's homes. So, if that's something that you're fearful of, I don't know. I just never had that fear. I just don't. Most people that are refinancing or buying the house, not to say you don't know who's dangerous or who's not, but it's just like, if you kind of do your research on it, you never really have heard of like a notary being killed by somebody going to do a signing. It's just, I have not heard any stories like that. I mean, you get some people who are interested in eccentric or whatever, but I don't know. I'm there to do a job and do it well and move on. I've never been scared. Other thing, what's new now, a year later? I am now just starting Mark Will's mastermind course. Of those of you who do not know, I'm a part of the loan signing system, and he has a mastermind course for more seasoned notaries who are getting ready to start the next step or phase of building a signing service business. So that is now my next move. And so I started his mastermind course in order to learn how to build a signing service. And it's amazing. It's amazing so far. I just started the course a couple weeks ago, and I'm still going through it, and I'm really excited about that as my next step. That will be my next business step, to have my own signing service. So of course I'll be updating you all on that. And the other thing that I've created over this last year is my t-shirt line that is really geared towards other notaries and other entrepreneurs. And it just came out of just a place of me really thinking about and wanting to express how I felt as a business owner, because I started seeing that a lot of people that come into this business, they don't really look at it like they're building a business. Some people come into it and look at it like, oh, I'm just doing signings, or oh, I'm just a notary. And I hate that. Sorry, I have allergies. I hate that word. I hate that phrase. I'm just so in my mind, I started wanting to do something to express the opposite of that. I'm not just a notary. I'm not just a woman. I'm not just a mom. I'm just not just a wife. That word just is, it can diminish you, so I wanted to talk about how I defined being a notary, or how I define being a businesswoman, how do I define being an entrepreneur. So that's kind of where the t-shirt design came from. That's something that I've implemented. I've also implemented the one-on-one Zoom calls. Some of you have participated in those, and thank you so much to those of you who have. And it's a service that I offer that if you want more time with me to really talk about a specific issue one-on-one, you can book those via my Facebook calendar, and I'll post that in the description here. But it's just one-on-one Zoom calls that I offer to like new, aspiring, or even seasoned notaries who just want some coaching. So that's something I've also implemented over this past year. I also have implemented what else? Oh, I'm now averaging about $6,000 a month part-time. I'm still a part-time notary loan signing agent. I'm not full-time. I get that question a lot. I don't know when or if I ever will be. I won't say if I ever will be. I just don't know when that time will come. I still work full-time. I work full-time for the government, and I have a really amazing career with the government. So it's not like it's something I just want to hurry up and get rid of. But strategically, as I start to build a signing service and my business gets bigger, there might come a time where I'm gonna have to make that choice, but I'm just not there yet. So yes, I'm still part-time. I average $6,000 a month part-time, excuse me. And I just recently set a goal for myself for the rest of 2020. I plan to try to do at least $10,000 or more a month for October, November, and December. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, but it's totally possible part-time. So those are my goals for the rest of the year. And that's where I'm at. When I first started doing videos, and I did that video with Mark Wills, I was averaging like about $3,000 a month part-time. And I was super excited about that because initially when I started this business, I started thinking, oh, I just want something that will kind of supplement my full-time income a little bit. I did the math and I said, you know, if I make like $3,000 a month, that was kind of the number I was looking for. And then very quickly, I surpassed that. And like I said, right now, easily, like my eyes closed, I could do $6,000 a month. And that came with me just kind of continuing to build my relationships with direct clients and taking less signing service business. That's another thing that I've done over this past year. I do still have a couple signing services that I work with, but they pay me very well. They're signing services, but they still pay me very well, number one, just because, again, I've developed a really good relationship with them. And I always encourage people to do that as well. You don't want to just, you want to build your relationships with your direct clients, and you want to focus on direct and getting direct business, but you also want to focus on having good relationships with the signing services you work with. They should know you. They should know you by name. They should know who you are. They should know the quality of service that you provide, because what happens is they'll be willing to pay you more. They'll call you before they send out like a blast email or blast text to everyone in your area. And, you know, it'll help build your business. So what I've done over this last year, I've kind of eliminated some signing services. I turned off all notifications with them, and I just focus on certain ones, and I focus on my direct clients. September, just this past month, I implemented a new strategy where I decided the last 2 weeks of the month, I was not going to do any signing service business at all. I was going to not even really worry about if I got signings or not. I was just going to talk to my direct clients, follow up with them, see how they're doing, ask them how they're doing, maybe visit them, you know, bring them coffee, bring them lunch, things like that, just to make sure that I'm continuing to get to know them and continuing to grow genuine relationships with them. And it was kind of like, it made me a little bit nervous, because you get into this space where you know, like, oh, I could take all these signings that are going to come in from Signature Closures or whoever, and I know this is going to guarantee me a certain amount of money this week or this month or whatever, right? And you get caught up in the money part of it, right? That's what I found myself doing. I was getting caught up in just taking as many signings as I could because I was obsessing over that number. But as you do that, then you kind of forget about the relationship building component of it. And that's really the most important part of this business, is building really solid relationships that will help your business grow even larger over time. So I had to take a step back and be willing to, like, oh, I don't care if I lose some money this week or lose some signings this week. I'm going to just focus on building my relationships. And that's something I just really implemented last month. And it worked really, really well. I focused on nobody but my local title companies. That's all I focused on, and it worked extremely well. I got like some really good signings from local title companies, and I even got to know some of the people in the office better, you know, the escrow assistants, and things on that line. You don't want to just focus on the escrow officer. You want to focus on everybody in the office. Who's the receptionist? Who's the assistant? You know, of course, who's the escrow officer, but a lot of times the assistant or the receptionist is the one who is doing the scheduling. A lot of times they're the one who's choosing the notary. So don't just focus on marketing, so to speak, to the escrow officer. Get to know everybody in the office, you know. So I've directed my energy towards that this past month. And so those are some of the things that have changed with me this past year. So let me see. I think you guys have some questions. Let me see. Someone asked, how long should you wait to apply to work out of title instead of using the signing platforms? Well, for me, I started going for direct business right away. I didn't wait, but that's because I just felt like I was ready for that. I think that it depends on if you're ready for it or not, because let me tell you this. The only thing that they care about is that you know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. You have to be ready to complete their file and complete it without any errors. As long as you think that you're up for that task, it doesn't matter how long. It doesn't matter how long. I took a signing from a title company directly after like 1 month, 2 months. I don't even think it was 2 months. And that was a signing I did for my friend who bought her house. And she requested me as her notary. So I don't think there's a time frame you put on it. Just know what you're doing. That's it. I just circled back. I keep in contact with that same escrow officer that I did one of my first direct signings with, and she is probably my #1 direct client. And I told her, as I was reflecting on my first year in business, like, you gave me a chance. You trusted me with your file, and I was just starting out. And she was like, Dominica, I would have never known that. I would have never known that you were new. I had no idea. Like, you do such an amazing job that I never knew that. I would have never known that unless you told me. So I think it's important just to be prepared, be educated, and know what you're doing. And nobody's gonna even really know that you're just starting out. Just know what you're doing. You know, I spent a lot of time reviewing information. I went through the loan signing system with a fine-tooth comb more than once, more than twice, you know. So once I got out there, I was like, I'm ready. Let's go, you know. So someone asked, do I still use signing platforms or more direct business? I still use some, but as I mentioned a little while ago, I'm really focusing on my direct clients now. So signing services, the only one that I really still use is Signature Closers. And I looked at my data, and I don't hardly work for them as much as I used to. Like this past month, I did 6 signings for them, you know, which is nothing compared to how many I used to do. And I just pulled back just based on distance and just me wanting to focus on my direct clients. How many signings a week do I do on average? I do about 3 to 4 a day, 6 days a week. On Saturdays, I usually do more. On Saturdays, I'll do up to 6. That's another thing too. As I focus on direct clients more and less signing service work, what I noticed is I do less signings in a month, but I make more money. So what does that tell you? That tells you that I'm being paid more now per signing. So someone asked, do I feel that LSS is a universal training course for all states? Absolutely. Absolutely. I know that Mark is from California. We're from the same town actually, and he lives in California now. But the signing service, the loan signing system information that he provides applies to all states. It's totally possible to reach $10,000 a month part time. I know people that are doing it. And it's possible because I'm going to give you an example. As you get more direct business, your dollar amount goes up. So last week I did 2 signings for my direct client. One of them paid me $250 and the other one paid me $200. So doing signing service work part-time, I would get maybe $100 per signing. You know what I mean? Now I'm doing more direct work and I can get one signing that's paying me $250 or $200. So that's how it becomes easier to get to $10,000 part-time when you have more direct clients who are paying you that amount per signing. Mm, I don't know if Louisiana is a attorney state. I should find out because my daughter lives in Louisiana, and I've been thinking about having her do signings, but I don't know. I have to find out. I'm not sure. Somebody asked, is it common for a VA refinance to not have any pages that need notarizations? I haven't done any that don't need notarizations. It depends what type of signing it is. The only signing that I've done that doesn't require notarizations has been like a seller package that was a cash buy, and there was nothing in there but escrow documents. Escrow documents don't require notarizations, but a VA loan, that's weird. Having a VA loan shouldn't have anything to do with the package not having notarizations. That's weird. I would probably ask whoever gave you the signing on that. What type of signing was it? Like a refinance or what? So someone asked, how do you sign on with title companies? There's a lot of different ways. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to do that. Some of the strategies that I've used is that when I first started my business, the first thing I did is I went through my phone. I went through all my contacts, right? And I started contacting my friends and family that I knew that were in real estate. And even those that weren't, I just let everybody know that I was in business because I knew real estate agents. I knew people who knew real estate agents. I knew people who were loan officers. I knew people who were loan officers. So the first thing I started doing is just contacting everybody I knew and telling them that I was in business. And then from there, I started building connections with real estate agents, loan officers, anybody who was in the realm of that business, and just kind of started putting myself out there that, hey, this is this business I have, this is the service I offer, let's connect. That for me, that's one of my number one ways to get direct business. I'm not big on like just randomly walking into an office. People do that as well, or just randomly contact your local title companies. I've done that as well, and I've had some good experiences with that. But my main thing is just contacting everybody in my network and then connecting with people from there that they may know, or offering, my friends and family that are buying a house. Everybody, if you go through everybody, somebody is buying a house, selling a house, or refinancing a house. Let them know that you're a loan signing agent. Let them know that you have this business now and they can request you as their notary. That's what I did. That's the main thing that I did, and I do now. I still do, to kind of get in with title companies. But there's tons of different strategies. I recommend, I can't say this enough, I totally recommend the loan signing system. They give you so many different angles and strategies. A new strategy that I just learned that I would never even thought of was going the loan officer route. And that is, contacting loan officer directly. Anytime you get a signing package on the 1003 on the application, the loan officer's information is on there, so you can contact them before the signing and say, hey, is there anything I should know about this client, our mutual client? Any heads up, anything information you want to give me? Is there anything in particular that you want me to take care of with this signing? And they'll be happy that you even reached out to them, that you even care enough to. And then after the signing, you can call them again. Hey, did everything go through fine with the transaction, with the loan? Was the paperwork, were the documents great? All that, And that's a way for you to start building connection with loan officers. There's so many different angles, and there's so many things that different people use, that some things work for others and some things don't work. You have to find what works for you, but there are a lot of different angles that you can use to get in with direct, and they work. So I think I just answered that. How did I market my business when I first started out? I told everybody about it. That's the one thing I tell people. Nobody's going to know about your business or the services that you provide if you're not telling them. Like literally still today, every day I talk about my business. Every day. Whether it's somebody I encounter, whether it's on social media, whatever, every day I'm telling somebody about my business. Like you have to tell everybody, and everybody that you know, and they need to tell people they know, and so on and so forth. If people don't know you're in business, then oh yeah, I definitely remember my first signing. I was scared out of my mind. I was sweating. I was nervous. I made an error on my first signing. It was crazy because I had studied so hard and I knew not to make this error. And this is the error I made on my first signing. I missed a signature on the notice of right to cancel. And it's weird because I knew that. It wasn't like I didn't know how important that form was and how to not miss the signature. What happened was the way the document's printed, the signature, how there's two signatures on the notice of right to cancel, one in the cancellation section and then one that they're supposed to sign. But for some reason, this lender, the way their documents were set up, it almost looked like where the person actually needed to sign was the cancellation section. It was in that area. So I didn't have them sign that portion thinking that was the cancellation part. And even the company that gave me the sign-in was like, they weren't even mad because they were like, this is weird. I've never seen it printed like this, and I just went back, had them sign it and moved on. I mean, what I found when you're starting out, you're learning and just grow and learn, from your mistakes. But yeah, my first signing was like, I was scared out of my mind. I don't work on Sundays. That's the only day I take off. On Sundays, I kind of focus on content creation. But as I mentioned earlier, I think I might change that for the rest of the year just because I'm trying to hit double digits. So I'm open to taking signings on Sundays for the rest of this year just to see if I could reach $10,000 or more. Yeah, I have 3 kids. My daughter is the oldest. She's 21. Um, yeah, a VA refinance, there definitely should be notarizations in there. That's weird. I would just ask whoever gave you the signing. Maybe it was a hybrid. You know, sometimes, a lot of times now they're doing hybrid loans where half the documents have already been signed online and the other half require wet signatures. So maybe it was something like that. I'm not 100% sure though. I've never done one like that. So yeah, typically no, I've never worked on Sundays. That's always been my day off, but I'm gonna change that starting Tuesday, starting this week. So this coming up Sunday, we'll see. But here's the thing though, you don't get many requests for Sunday signings. So even if I do them the rest of this year, I don't think they're gonna be that much. I mean, Saturdays are really busy. You get a lot of requests for Saturdays, but Sunday's not really, every now and then. So we'll see. And then how late do I sign? I don't sign past like 8 or 9 p.m. is the absolute latest. That's the latest I sign. But there are requests for signings way past that. I've seen requests for signings at 10, 11 o'clock at night, but I don't do those. 8 or 9 is my latest. So someone asked, what was your experience when you did walk-in and title companies? Was it awkward? With COVID, I'm not sure how dropping a gift is received along with your business card. Yeah, so COVID has changed things. That's one thing I did want to talk about that's changed since I first started my business. I started last year, and so we all know COVID hit around March, and shit changed. And again, that's why I always encourage people to be a part of the loan signing system, because Mark gave us some really amazing ideas on still how to market through a pandemic. And it wasn't even really marketing, it was just really, you know, we had to do things differently. And during that time when COVID first hit, especially what I was doing, was checking in with my clients to make sure that they were okay, to make sure that their families were okay, because things got really weird. You know, people were getting sick, people were still getting sick. So really, it was not really a time to like market. You're not really ever selling yourself anyway, to be honest with you. The loan signing system really teaches you just really how to build genuine relationships with people. Like, you genuinely need to care about them and who they are and get to know them. And with that, a natural progression of just, you know, a business relationship can flourish from that. But during the pandemic, I had, and still now, like care packages that I would send to my direct clients with like healthy snacks or like, you know, hand sanitizer, stuff like that. That was just like, hey, how are you doing? I hope everything is going okay during this really crazy time. Here's some things that I hope that can get you through, you know, that type of thing. You could not just walk into the title offices when COVID first hit. They were shut down. A lot of them still are. Some of them are slowly opening their doors again. I have one title company out of, let's see, there is 4 that I work with consistently, and only one currently has their door open. Like, I could just come in, kind of come and go as I please. But all the other ones are still like, they'll come meet your ass at the door, and you know, you could still bring stuff to them. But what I found is, I think you have to find your own niche. You have to find what works for you, because you don't want it to be, I think it becomes awkward when it's not genuine. I think that's when it becomes awkward. If you're just doing something somebody told you to do, or doing something like something off a script that doesn't feel natural for you, that's when it becomes awkward. You really have to take the concept of relationship building and then figure out how it will work for you in a natural way to where you don't feel awkward. I think the other part that makes people feel awkward sometimes when they're not confident in their own ability. Like, if you're still not too sure of yourself and what you provide and what you bring to the table, I think that also creates awkwardness because you're trying to then sell someone something that you don't even believe that you can provide, you know? So I think when you get to the point when you know that you're a really good loan signing agent and you know that this title company will be lucky to have you, it's not awkward to just tell them, you know, who you are and what you provide. You know what I mean? But things have changed with COVID, but it hasn't made it impossible. You know, I don't even like to call it marketing because I just take time to just still build relationships, let people know I'm here, that I care. You know, I'm checking on them. You know, it's not always about like, hey, I want a signing. You know, it's just like genuine relationship building. Like, how are you doing? How is your family doing? How are your kids doing? You know, that type of stuff. Just start conversations. Mm. So a lot of people ask this question, is it best to get your notary license first or just start the training? Well, first of all, it's a notary commission. And I suggest doing the loan signing system training first because you don't need the commission. You don't need the notary commission until you're ready to start, you know. And when you take the loan signing system, Mark explains that. He explains every step to take, when to take it, and when to do it. And my suggestion is just to follow that. Do the loan signing system first, finish it. Once you're all done and you're ready to rock, that's when you should go get your commission. Because if you get your commission first, and you don't have any education, you don't know what to do, it's like you're just gonna have your notary commission, and then what are you gonna do with it? You're just gonna be sitting there until you learn what you need to learn in order to be able to be a successful signing agent. So I suggest taking the course first. Somebody asked, what is the easiest type of loan to do? I mean, I guess it depends on what you consider easy. At this point, all of them are easy to me, but I would say seller packages or someone who's buying a property cash, because either one of those don't have the loan documents in there. If somebody's selling the house, there's no loan documents. So it might be like 20 or 30 pages. It's gonna be really easy to get through. There's not all that loan document paperwork. A person who's buying a property cash, it's even less paperwork. It might be, I don't know, 10, 15 pages of just like escrow documents. Those are really, really easy to get through. Maybe 15 minutes, you know, and I still charge $100 for those. So those are really easy, you know, time wise, you know, easier in and out. Not a lot to go through. I purchased my drum and toner either from Amazon or eBay, and I use generic drums and toners. I don't buy the ones from the manufacturer, and they work just fine. So for hybrid signings, yeah, the borrower signs the documents on their own. You don't have to like do anything for that. I don't really understand this question. I'm about to start my business. How should I dress? Like I'm a man. So how should I? I'm not sure what you mean. So yeah, it depends what state you're in. Someone asked, is there a test or certification after loan signing course? It depends what state you're in. So I'm in California, and yeah, here it's required that we take a 6-hour course and take an exam, but that's not required in all states. So you need to check your state's requirements. So someone asked, do I have an LLC or EIN? I do have an EIN. I'm a sole proprietor. I'm not an LLC. And I have a CPA that I hired. I'm not a tax professional. I don't have a lot of information on specifics on taxes. I always suggest hire someone who's a subject matter expert in that area. Even when I was trying to figure out how I was going to form my business, whether I was going to be a sole proprietor, whether I was going to be an LLC or a corporation, I consulted a business consultant to give me my options and what the best option for me was. I suggest with those questions, like don't try to figure that out on your own. If that's not something that you're proficient in, like taxes, I hired a CPA. They're gonna handle all of my taxes and everything I need in that area. When it came to forming my business, I consulted my business consultant. They handle that for me. So that's just my opinion. I think that you need to consult with someone who is a subject matter expert to give you the proper advice in that area. And an EIN number is free. You go on, I forget the website right now, but you just go on and get your EIN number. And I got one because I think it's a pretty essential for any business, because you want to have, it's a good way to keep your records, have everything paid under your EIN versus your social security number. And it's free too. I keep saying that because I see a lot of people on Facebook, in the Facebook groups, saying that they're paying for EIN. And I'm like, I don't know what the heck, where people were getting that from. It's free and it takes like less than 5 minutes. I'm trying to find the website. Yeah, it's just irs.gov and it's free. So yeah, I think I answered that. But yeah, when I first started, I was working for signing service and direct. And the way that I did that, I just had friends that were buying homes at the time. I told everybody that I knew that I was starting a business, and people were like, okay, I'll let you do my signing, you know? So that gave me the in to their real estate agent. And then once you get the into the real estate agent is going to introduce you to the escrow officer. So that's how I was able to get direct signings right away. Like I did my first direct signing in November. I started my business in September. So yeah. So I don't think you guys have any more questions. I think that's pretty much it as far as what I wanted to update on where I'm at now. A year later, my income has increased. The number of signings I do has decreased, but the amount of money I'm making has increased because just the dollar amounts have went up per signing. I don't really drive as far as I used to. I don't spend a lot of time prepping documents as much as I used to. That was taking too much time. What else? I double check my work. You always gotta double check your work. But when I first started out, I was checking like 3 or 4 times just because I was so nervous. But now I'm like, okay, I checked it once, I checked it twice. I know what to look for. I'm good. I'm shipping these documents off. Your amount per signing increases as you get more direct business, honestly. I mean, when I first started, I would just take whatever came through on my phone just because I wanted to get a signing, just because I wanted to get experience, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. So when I first started, signings would come through my phone for like $75. I would just say yes immediately just because I wanted to get out there and I wanted to get going. Now, there's no way I would do a signing for $75. There's no way. But that's where I was at when I started because I just wanted to get out there. I wanted to get my feet wet. I didn't really know, I didn't know what to expect. So as I got in, I started learning. And let's say I took a signing for $75 and then I went to go print the documents and I saw there was 200 pages and it was 40 minutes away. Then I knew like, okay, that doesn't make sense. I'm losing money at this point. So it's just something I had to learn, like, okay, what I can do, how much, I'm going to charge for what I can do signings for this amount. I can't do it for any less than this amount. I started learning the businesses that were willing to pay me what my rates were. And I just stopped wasting my time on other companies that were going to just send me stuff that I always was going to have to counter offer on or say no. That takes time too. Sometimes I'll get 20, 30 messages through my phone from a signing service that's offering me $75 signings. Why am I even getting alerts from you all anymore? I'm just going to take you off my list. I don't even want to get the alerts because you're wasting my time with the alert even coming through my phone and me having to look at it and respond to it. It doesn't make sense. So it's just something you learn as you grow and weed through things. And now I do less signings and get paid more because I'm working for companies who pay me more per signing. That's the bottom line. I don't know. I mean, I started to feel comfortable. Somebody asked me, where did you get to a point where you felt comfortable? Maybe about after 6 months or so, a little bit more than that though. I would say now, I don't know, it's been a year now, I feel really, really comfortable. I mean, 6 months, I was starting to feel comfortable, but it was like, okay, don't get too cocky. You know what I mean? There was still a lot I had to learn, right? Now, a year in, I feel like I'm good. Like I'm very comfortable. So yeah, I would say a year. And now I'm moving on to the next thing that I'm gonna be new at, which is signing service stuff. So yeah, I don't know. For me, I would say a year. After this first year now, I feel really comfortable. I get this question a lot. How should you know the rates for what a signing should pay? So again, the loan signing system kind of tells you what the industry rates are. And I just started my industry rates based on that, based on what I was told in the loan signing system. And once I got into the business, you learn what the standard rates are. And yeah, I just go from there. I mean, at this time, my rates are anywhere from $100 all the way up to $250, depending on the type of loan. But I don't have any signing or any transaction I will do for less than $100. I don't care how small of a package it is. That's my minimum. I have a video on that, or like what some of my favorite signing services. I don't know. The main ones I suggest is Signature Closers, BankServe, um, Mortgage Connect, and Inspire Closings are really good to work for. They're not signing services though; they're title companies. but you can call them and sign up to work with them. Those are pretty much my go-tos. Oh, Republic Title. Someone asked, do I do regular notary besides, that's called general notary work. I do. I mean, it's not my favorite thing to do, but I will do it. I get calls for general notary work sometimes, probably like at least once or twice a month, and I'll do it. But I love loan signings. That's my primary focus. That's a good question. Are the number of pages and location included on the page with the amount of the signing? It depends on what service. Most of them don't tell you. Yeah, it just depends on the service. Some that come through SnapDocs, you'll see an estimated number of pages, but that's doesn't happen on a lot of them. And as you start doing signings over time, you'll just start to know. You'll start to know the lenders, and you'll know this lender, their packages are usually 150 pages. Then you're like, oh, this lender, their packages is usually 120 pages. You'll start to know as you do signings. So someone asked, how do I find companies to work for? For direct clients, I just really focused on my local title companies. You can Google who your local title companies are. For signing services, I have a list that I got from the Loan Signing System group with, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of signing services, and I just went through them. And when I first started my business, I used to sign up for like 10 services a day. I charge the same for hybrids. Someone asked, are hybrid rates different? Yeah, they'll try to offer you less, but my rates stay the same. All right, you guys. So I'm about to get off of here. I'm trying to think, was there anything else I wanted to tell you guys that has changed this past year? I don't think so. I think, I wanted to say this, COVID obviously was the biggest change for everybody in every industry, but for us as loan signing agents, it actually created more business for us, just because the interest rates dropped to the lowest in history. This pandemic has caused the interest rates to drop the lowest that they've ever been. So business ramped up like never ever before. And it's not slowing down anytime soon. So, that really has been a positive for us, So if you're not already a loan signing agent and you're thinking about becoming one, this is probably the perfect time. Someone asks, is a weekly, I work on Saturday. Saturday is just as busy as any other day of the week. I do signings Monday through Saturday, and it's busy, 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 busy every single day of the week. Even Sundays. I just choose not to work on Sundays. That will change for me soon, but every day is busy. Yeah, I would continue to reapply with BankServe. I think the first time I applied with them, they denied me, and then the second time they accepted me. So yeah, I would say keep applying. Also, when they ask about your experience, I always use my training experience. So companies that say, oh, they want 1 year of experience or 2 years of experience, I use all of my study time before you know, when I signed up for the loan signing system and all the times that I did mock signings and went through and practice, I count all that time. So I'm like, yeah, I have the experience. Some companies will ask for you to have 1 to 2 years of experience, but as I just stated, if you're practicing and studying and going through the course, you can count that as your experience. But I want to emphasize, like, know what you're doing though. You know, I spent all the time studying so I can make sure that I could be confident enough to walk to say I know what I'm doing. So you don't want to say you have experience if you haven't really spent hours and hours on the material and really know, like, that you're ready to get in there and really know what you're doing, you know? So I say that I had experience because I was confident and knew that I did, you know? I think the loan signing system course offerings have changed a little bit from when I first started. I signed up, I think, for the professional one, but I upgraded over time. I upgraded my membership over time, but I started with the most, I think, the cheapest one, which I want to say people ask me about that all the time as well. That's really all you need. That course has so much information and it's more than enough to get you started. As your business grows, you can always update your or upgrade your membership. And that's what I did. What are some of the other signs that you can make money from? I don't know what you mean. Like, besides doing mortgage loans? I'm not sure. I focus on loan signings. I do some general notary work, but to be honest with you, it's not, that doesn't seem like a big money maker to me. So I don't focus on it. I'll leave the link where you can sign up for the course in this, in the description of this video. Oh yeah, the loan signing system helps you tremendously. I don't know anything about being an inspector. I don't know anything about Ron because it's not something we can use here in California. So I don't I'm the wrong person to ask about that. Did they? Yeah, I don't do that. Field inspections and weddings. I mean, I don't do those things. Yeah, it's called the loan signing system. And I'll leave the link in this video. All right, you guys, so I'm about to sign off. I'll talk to you later. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. If you still have questions, you can leave them in the comments and I will answer them later. Okay, bye.